so many people, so many people to chant and dance and connect with Kirtan. So if we can warmly welcome him to come and lead us in our next Kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Good morning. Krishna, Krishna, wonderful. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Pastutya Deshitarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We'll chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Maybe you can repeat that after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is a mantra that's very ancient. Om Namo, I offer my homage. I offer my respect. I offer my very heart and soul unto Bhagavate Vasudevaya, that divinity which is in every living entity, that supreme which is in every animal, every tree, every particle, that supreme who is in my heart also, yet I fail to believe it because I'm so self-critical. Yes, right here. That same divinity, I offer my respects. It's a big thing to offer respects to others, isn't it? Because most of the time, even subconsciously, we're saying, love me, say that you love me. We want to be loved, and that's natural. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be loved. But to acknowledge that we are already being loved, that's the first thing. We're eternally being loved. We're loved for who we are, not what others want us to be. So to offer homage, that's a big thing. So what I'd like you to do, and I'm telling myself this also, is during this short kirtan, we'll chant for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then maybe another mantra after that, is to, excuse me, is to really focus on this meditation that I'm offering homage. So it means maybe you want to meditate as though you're folding palms, honoring divinity as you see in your mind's eye. Maybe a beautiful deity of Krishna, maybe a beautiful deity of Ram. In that way, put yourself out of the center for 10, 15, 20 minutes and see how difficult it is actually. The mind will start going, my leg hurts, my tummy hurts, my brain hurts. me, my, self. It's because that's how we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned to always be about aham and mamiti, me and mine, my microphone, my sound, etc., etc. You get the point. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Divinity in the center. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate. Let's chant all together, please, nice and loud. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Twice more, nice and loud. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Once again, once again. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate I'd like you to sit now and meditate on where you are right now, right here in this place in Rishikesh, in Tapovan, in Ananda Ashram. Become conscious where you are, who you are. And then take a little bird's eye view. Zoom out a little further. Out into the sky, up above the clouds. You see the country of India. You see the entire world, perhaps. Now start to notice the vastness of the universe. Start to see in perspective how great God is, how great the Supreme is. And becoming acutely aware that you are a part and parcel of that. Not one with it, but a part and parcel. Same in quality, different in quantity. And from this meditation now, offer homage, offer respect and gratitude. Offer your heart unto that Supreme. Let's chant together that first melody. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All together nice and loud, please. Om Namo Bhagavate. One more together, please. Om Namo Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Oh, Hari Bol. Radhe. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. How beautiful bhakti is. The vastness of divinity, the grandeur of divinity, the majestic supreme, and yet he manifests, they manifest, Radha and Krishna manifest, the Divine Supreme, the most beautiful couple. They manifest in these names, so close, so intimate. I ask you a question, rhetorically. Is God near or is God far? For one who says God is far, are they wrong? No? For one who says that God is near, are they wrong? It's up to you. How close? Isn't it, Jiva? Oh yeah, she says, oh yeah. Let's chant as though divinity sits right in the heart, which is where they are. But let's be conscious of that fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yes, I offer my homage unto that Supreme, that vast Supreme. Hare Krishna. Oh, I offer that homage to that near, close, intimate, related, divine. Oh Krishna. Let's chant all together. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sweetly, sweetly, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Together, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. As though you chant into the ear of God. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Together, please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Radhe Shyam. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Hare. One more. Let's hear it, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Once a guru, and in his ashram, he called one of the younger disciples to take a bucket and go and fill it in the river nearby. And so this disciple, honored by the opportunity to serve, took the bucket very enthusiastically and ran to the river, ran over and collected the water, filled it all the way up to the top, and started walking back to the ashram. He noticed, however, that the bucket from underneath had some holes and the water was leaking out. So he was like, okay, well, what I'll do, practical, I'll put my hand underneath the bucket and I'll run really fast to the ashram. So he fills up the bucket again, all the way up to the top, puts his hand underneath, and runs as fast as his little legs can carry him all the way back to the ashram. And the guru, upon seeing the bucket, says, "Oh, dear disciple, I asked, please fill it to the top." "Oh, it all still works. Wow, you guys are magicians. How you're doing that. Thank you. Jiva, you read my mind." And so I said, "Please fill it to the top. Not 3/4, some of the water has gone from the bottom, please go again." So the disciples, "Oh yeah, okay, cool. So what I'll do is I'll put some rocks at the bottom of the bucket, and then I'll put my hand, rocks, and then we can do it." So runs back, tries the second thing, back, forth, back, forth. The story goes on. He keeps going back and forth from the river, but still never reaches until it's fully to the top. At last, the disciple, he looks at his guru and he's a little bit, can I say peed off? Is that? I'm not going to swear, but he was annoyed. He's like, "I can't do it. It's not happening. It's not working. You set an impossible task. You can't fill this bucket to the top. It's not possible." The Guru says, look inside the bucket. The bucket was sparkling clean. The disciple could understand that the need for filling the water was only so that the bucket could drain and become cleansed from the inside. Sometimes it's like that in the kirtan. You'll notice that some kirtans are just unbelievably ecstatic, and some kirtans you have to really work with the inner stuff, because when we come to kirtan, we don't come as we are. We come with all the other impressions, like you sit next to a dog, and the dog represents all the different things that you've experienced in the last 24 hours. The different looks you get on the Indian streets. I'm sure as most of you are in the white body, you get a lot of stare. Maybe not so much in Rishikesh actually, no? Okay, not here. But generally in India. Or maybe you ate something a little funny for breakfast, or something has risen to the top of your consciousness that you now have to deal with. Maybe it's an ego that we have to deal with. And so this chanting process, it's from the outside it can be seen like child's play. It's so simple. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. It can be seen as child's play. Yes, mantras and chanting and chanting and chanting. But what's happening on the subconscious level is actually quite incredible. We're turning off the impressions of hatred, and we're turning on the impressions of love. We don't realize it, but we actually do a lot of chanting of other stuff. For example, in the West, in America, I know that subconsciously chanting Trump, 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 or Trump, 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 or Trump, 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 or Trump, Trump, Trump. Or they're chanting in London right now. What are they chanting? Gas prices, gas prices, gas prices, gas prices. Gas prices, gas prices. Weather, the weather in London. Oh, the weather, the weather, the weather. So subconsciously, these impressions are constantly being... And you might think, no, I don't do it. Well, if you have a social media account, the algorithm's doing it for you. You know, what impressions are we repeating again and again in a different video format, again and again and again? And it starts to form our subconscious mind. We start to see the world not as it is, dear brothers and sisters, but we start to see the world as we are. We start to see the world as we are. All the different impressions that have taken up in our consciousness. So this is a method by which one can cleanse the consciousness, clean the inner bucket of the mind and the heart. What do you think? In the evening I don't feel comfortable to do a little to and fro, but here I'm comfortable to do it. So what do you think? Well, you guys, you love kirtan, so that's different. But I'm looking for someone that's like, I don't know. Tell me. Yeah.
And we forget this art how to give love, how to serve selflessly, how to serve the community, or how to serve this universe.
Thank you for sharing that. That's true. We lose our innateness, you said. I recently had 2 children, and what's become abundantly clear with the children is that they innately love. My eldest is starting to get to a point where he doesn't like sharing anymore with his younger sister. But my youngest, my daughter, if she has her dolly, and I say, Dolly, Gita, can you give dolly to Braj? Yeah. It's not, no. They get older and they start doing that. But innately, they love. It's so beautiful to see. I never knew I needed kids as much as I needed them. It's taught me so much about life. But yes, we lose our innateness. Why? Because of impressions. You know, we see, if I'm kind and I'm loving, people will walk all over me. Or if I'm loving, my love is not reciprocated with. And so we start to feel, what's the point? Why am I loving? You know, why am I being so loving? They're just going to take me for a ride anyway. Why do I waste my time? What am I wasting my time being loving for? If it's not you, then there's someone in your life that's like that, right? That's given up on love or given up on being loving. And so this conditioning is something that we have to work with. We often hear, for example, one of the qualities that is most sought after in bhakti or in spirituality is this quality called humility. Have you heard of that? Yeah? How many of you consider yourselves humble? Wonderful. Humility, my dear friends, it comes from the root word humus, which means fertile soil. Fertile soil is a place where if you plant a seed, something beautiful can grow. And I recently learned the definition of humility that really, it struck my heart so deeply. And we'll chant one more kirtan before we go into the workshop. And in the workshop, I'm really quite an open Q&A kind of person, so I'm just going to keep it open and we just see where it goes. But in this last kirtan, I want you to imbibe or try to imbibe this quality of humility. What is this definition? Please lend me your ears, Romans or Rishikeshers. Humility doesn't mean to think less of yourself. But to think about yourself less. Did the penny drop or no? Humility doesn't mean to think less of yourself, but to think about yourself less. It's a common Hare Krishna ISKCON thing when you say, oh, that was an incredible kirtan, or Harinam, you play mridanga so well. Then the natural thing people do is, no. No, I'm terrible, no. It doesn't mean to think less of yourself, but to think about yourself less. And when you're thinking about yourself less, what does that mean? It means your capacity to think about other things is much greater. You can think about selflessness, you can think about service, you can think about Krishna. In the modern age, we suffer from this disease of self-absorption. If it doesn't please me, I ain't doing it, mate. I'm convinced that most people are unconsciously selfish because we don't change for other people. We don't change for other people. I used to be a heavy smoker. That's where my raspy voice comes from. Lots of cigarettes. Speaking about giving up addictions, if you're inspired to join Jiva's Bhakti Recovery Group, which I think is an incredible offering at 12:45, I'd love for you to go and check that out. We're suffering from so many addictions. But hey, I didn't want to change for anybody. But one morning when I coughed up some blood in the bathroom, I was like, I got to change this. We often change only because it actually only serves us. And that's okay. But bhakti is teaching us, this chanting process is teaching us to not think that we're so crap, no, but to think about ourselves just a little bit less, ladies and gents. Everyone wants to sit at the front of the kirtan in the evening, at the back of the bus in London, and in the center of attention at all times. It's all about me, baby, isn't it? I got this mic, it's all about Radhika Das right now, isn't it? But we're doing it subconsciously all the time. And so humility is this practice of not thinking less of ourselves. No, you're incredible. You are incredible. You're a beautiful gift of God, of grace. You are. Each and every one of you. If I could, I'd hug every single, I'd stand at the door and hug you all because you're incredibly amazing. See, confirmed. That's the workshop. I'm done, I'm out. But you're incredibly gifted, lovable beings. Each and every one of you have got incredible qualities that are worth worshipping. But the trick is to acknowledge that it's been gifted as a gift from God, as a gift of grace. So not thinking less of yourself. Be at harmony, be at peace with the best version of yourself. That's where you'll find happiness. be at peace, be at harmony, that you are incredible. Don't criticize yourself. You are incredible. But at the same time, try to avoid the self-absorption route, which is, I'm incredible and everyone's got to know it. No, I'm incredible, and that gift has been given by a higher power. So if someone says, well done, you're incredible. Well done, incredible. Just say, God's grace, Guru's grace. And in that way, when we train our minds to become humble, then chanting, it's understood, Trinadapi sunichena taroreva sahishnuna manena manadena kirtaniya sadahari. For one who is a humble being, they can chant constantly. And what does it mean to chant constantly? It means to be in association with God constantly. This morning when I woke up, I felt a little bit clouded in the mind. I was like, oh man, jet lag or what is this? I just felt like, can I be honest and vulnerable with you? I was feeling lusty, I was feeling greedy, I was feeling desirous of honor. I was like, what do I do? Like, how do I deal with this? I know, I'll chant a little. So I took up my bead bag and I spent an hour and a half chanting. This is my mala, and these are the counting beads which tell me how many rounds I've chanted. Today I've chanted 12 rounds. And I just told myself, just do this. Be peaceful with chanting. Just stay with the name. And it was nice, just me by myself in my hotel room with the AC on and just chanting. Didn't have to go outside and be in, no, just wanted to be with the name. And being with that name, I felt so much clarity, so much like, the self-absorption thing just dissipated. The lusty feelings dissipated. The desire for honor and greed dissipated. And I just felt peace again. I felt at peace again. Why? Because I realized that, yes, God has gifted me something, but I'm not at the center of the universe, and I'm happier that way. I'm happier not being at the center of the universe. So we'll chant one more kirtan. Should we do that? And maybe in the workshop, now that I've spoken a lot, maybe we just do Q&A. And then you guys can go and rest and do what you want to do. Like, yes, please. 12:45, Jiva. What do you do? What's the like?
Well, we have a recovery group, which is welcome to all kinds of addictions-associated behaviors, which means addictions to either in recovery from drugs, alcohol, codependency, negative thinking, all kinds of things. Anything that gets in the way of us being Krishna conscious needs to be addressed. And we work through it as a group. We're a big, tight-knit community. We have been here for 4 years online, and anyone is welcome. Even if you're just curious to see what it is, you're just welcome to come and join us. It's at 12:45 on the terrace when you go out here on the right. And we're like an online community as well.
I so much respect that, and I so much value it, and I think it's really necessary. I started serving with AA groups and 12-step groups a while back, and the one thing that I noticed about people that were in those groups is they didn't wear any masks. Like, they were completely owning that they had something to work on. And that is flipping incredible. That's humility. That's recognizing I've got some fault. I'm great, but I've got some fault. You know, so anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
What should we chant? What do you want to chant? Yeah? Should I do something different? This is a nice Vrindavan mantra. You heard that one before? Should we do it in two? Can you play cartels in 2 beats? Oh, cool. All right, let's do it. Shri Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe Shri Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe Shri Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Jai Shri Radhe. Together please. Shri Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Radhe Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe. All together please. Shri Radhe Radhe Shri Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Jai Radhe. Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopal Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Radhe Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopal Radhe Radhe Shyam Radhe Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopal Radhe Radhe Shyam. Let's hear it please. Jai Shri Radhe. Gopal Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopala Radhe Radhe. Together please. Together, please. Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopal Radhe Radhe. One more. Govinda Radhe Radhe Gopal Radhe Radhe. Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopal Radhe Radhe. Together, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Radhe. Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam. Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopala Radhe Radhe Shyam. Jai Shri Radhe. 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 Shri Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe Shri Radhe. Shri Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe Radhe. Rumi says something really cool. He said that when you lie down and you chant, God comes and sits right next to you. I'm not lying down. When you sit and you chant, God comes and stands right next to you. When you stand and you chant, divinity dances right beside you. But hear this. Rumi says that when you dance and you chant, God embraces you. I know it's, what is it, almost midday. It's not the evening raving slot. But this is a really nice mantra. Let's chant and dance together. Shri Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe. Shri Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe. Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopal Radhe Radhe Shyam.
Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopal Radhe Radhe Shyam. Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopal Radhe Radhe Shyam. Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopal Radhe Radhe Shyam.
Shri Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe. Shri Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe. Shri Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe. Bhajamana Radhe 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 Govinda. Bhajamana Radhe 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 Govinda. Jai Jai Radhe 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 Govinda. Bhajamana Radhe 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 Govinda. Bhajamana Radhe 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 Govinda. Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe. Jai Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe. Oh Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Bhajamana Radhe. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Thank you all so much. Can I tell you a funny story? I mean, if you said no, I'll tell it anyway. So Sharad Bihari, who's one of my very good friends, he's from Vrindavan, he lives in Vrindavan, very saintly person. His spiritual teacher is a person called His Holiness Kadamba Kanana Swami. And sadly, he departed from this world 3 years ago. And just actually 3 days ago, 3 days ago, was his anniversary, the Tithi, for when he passed. I can't give you a little context. So when I was a child and I had dreams. I had a dream to become an airline pilot, but I found out at the age of 8 or 9 that I'm colorblind. I had no idea. Those who are, anyone else is colorblind here? Cool. So you know that we don't know these things that we're colorblind, right? The only way I found out is one day I was drawing in class and I colored the grass in brown. And the teacher, yeah, I was like, that's green. that's the color of the grass. And then the teacher said, no, I think, maybe you need to go and see the optician. I was like, I can see perfectly clear, but no, I had to go and see. And then the optician made a whole drama out of it. He sat me down on a bench, on his thing, and he said, I need to tell you something. And I was like, oh my God. What? He said, I think you're colorblind. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, so what? You can go if you need to go. And he said, yeah, you can't be a pilot anymore. Because I had a dream. He asked me, the first question he asked me when I went into the optician is, what do you want to be when you grow older? So he's like, I'm really sorry. I was like, it's okay, it's not a big deal. And then a few years later, there was a TV program called Pop Idol. Do you guys remember that? If you were born in the 90s, then you'll remember. And there was in the UK, there was a winner called Will Young. And I loved his voice. I was like, this guy sings incredibly. So what I used to do, I used to copy his singing, and I used to sing in the shower. And I didn't think my mum would ever hear me. So she did hear me. And at the Christmas gathering that year, she was like, hey, why don't you sing that song that you sing in the shower? I was like, all my family members are here. I'm like, all right. So I sang the song. No, please don't. I'm very comfortable with being embarrassed, but not that type of. Anyway, the dream turned to becoming someone who could sing. But as things happen, it's not so cool to be a male singer, especially, actually not even it's not cool, it's not really socially acceptable in the Indian body. In the Indian body, at that time, I don't know how it is now for young people, but I had 3 options. It was either doctor, lawyer, or failure. That's how isn't it? You also experienced this, no? And so I kind of shut the dream down. And a few years later, in my late teens, I found Kirtan. And I sat at the back of the room. I got invited. Is this being recorded by chance? It is? Oh, then I can't say who the monk is. Very famous monk. Very famous. Very, very famous. Let your mind run wild. And he invited me on a retreat. And I was like, no, I don't know. I don't want to go on a retreat with you people. You people? What do you mean? No, I like you guys. You're cool and you chant nice and stuff. But I don't know. You guys are going to convert me to something. So I'll stay at an arm's length, please. And then he said the magical words which any teenage boy wants to hear. There'll be girls there. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, I'll come. So I convinced it didn't take that much convincing because my parents were like, oh, he's going on a temple retreat. He's going to get all spiritual. My mum told me at the time, she said, don't get too deep. I was like, come on, Mum, I'm not going for that reason anyway. But anyway, I went on the retreat. And completely candidly, I didn't attend any of the events or any of the because I wasn't there for that. But on the last day, all the guys that I was friends with on that retreat said, we're going to the final kirtan. All right, come on then, let's go. So I go, and they all sit wherever they sit, and I sat right at the back. Because I'm convinced, like, come on, this is really weird. Like, we're chanting in another language. And, you have to understand, like, for you, you think it's cool because, it's Eastern and it's mystical. But I'm born in this body. And so for me, like, I was brought up with Hanuman Chalisa, Jaya Hanuman Jnana Gunasara Jaya. I used to listen every day to school. So by the time I was in my teens, I was like, I'm done with that, man. Like, I didn't really find divinity, didn't find God there, so I'll close that chapter. So anyway, I sat at the back of the room, and everyone's chanting. I was like, okay, I've seen this before. Then everyone starts dancing. I'm like, is there something in the air conditioning that's not legal? I was convinced, like, there's something in that prasad, mate. There's something in that prasad. So I'm sitting at the back of the room, and I refused to chant, refused to dance. In fact, I used to mime. That's how I was really, really against. I thought, first and foremost, this isn't for me, and second of all, real men don't sing. And it's still a stereotype that carries today, actually. Like, you look around, majority of the people that are in this room are of the female body. Like, it takes a brave man to sing and chant, because let's face it, if you told some of your friends who you went to school with that you're into chanting men, how would they take you? We know, as people in the men's body. If I'm wrong, then you can slap me up later. But the point is, I felt it wasn't socially acceptable, and I was part of the cool kids crew. I always looked cool. I always was cool. I am cool. So anyway, I just refused to chant. And by the end of the kirtan, don't ask me how, I can't remember, I was ecstatically chanting and dancing. Like, so much so, there's a picture that will never see the light of day of me in in the UK, we have this brand called Primark. Do you have that in the US? What's like your equivalent of like the cheapest brand?
It's like, I don't know, like
Target.
Woolworths.
Woolworths. Do you still have Woolworths in the US?
Maybe. I'm old. I just outdated.
Okay.
Totally dated myself.
Okay. You're cool too. But I was wearing this really tight yellow t-shirt, and I've never been a six-pack kind of guy. It's always been this. I like paneer. So I'm dancing, and this picture is my arms in the air. The t-shirt is scandalous. Tears are running down my eyes. I'm never letting that see the light of day. But suffice to say, I had my first experience of kirtan. And then I got really, really attracted by the possibility of sharing it with others. A lot of story in the middle, lots of funny bits that happen in the middle, but I decided I wanted to share kirtan. But I only knew one melody. The melody I knew was... Oh yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So I'm singing that, and I get invited for my first ever kirtan slot in a place called Birmingham. And that was, at that time, you remember, right? Birmingham was like the place to be. It was like where all the hotshots, Madhava was there. Sachinandana Swami. And pokey little Radhika Das. So anyway, I proceed to lead the kirtan. And it was all right, like it was a bit here and there. It wasn't really, like, I was so focused on the harmonium and the melody. You know, when, especially like those of you that are learning how to lead kirtan, you know, really pokily trying to figure out what you're doing while you're doing it. And his spiritual teacher, Kadamakanana Swami, he went and had lunch with my spiritual teacher. And I found out later that in that lunch, Kadamakanana Swami, he said, that boy, he leads good kirtan. But he doesn't know how to take it into sixth gear. Sixth gear is like, it's really pumping. And at the time, I was just like blown away that a Swami had recognized me. Wow. So now when we lead kirtan and it hits that sixth gear, I always think of your spiritual teacher. It makes me laugh, it makes me cry. Anyway, that was the story. I don't know what the moral of the story was, but something. Yes, here's a moral for you. Spiritually minded persons often have a vision of us that is far greater than ourselves. You know, goodbye. I see him do it every day, but I was like, I'm going to say goodbye. Spiritually minded persons, they can see a vision far greater for us than we can see of ourselves. Why is that? Because a spiritually minded person is dhiras tatra namuyati. He's steady-minded, she is steady-minded, they are steady-minded. And in that steady-mindedness towards divinity, they're able to perceive things that are much beyond the material realm. They can see things perhaps into the future. They can see our potential. Not necessarily they can see our successes, maybe they can, but they can see the potential. And ultimately that's what we have to aim for. That when we look at someone else, just look left and right, and look, not glance, but look at the person next to you, smile, and look at them. What do you see when you look at them? You don't have to say it out loud. Can you see the spiritual potential of that person? Not just the lusty potential, not just the material potential. Is God calling? Answer. Yes. So what I wanted to do is, now that he's gone, I can't really, well, I can still sing, we'll just clap and sing. But what we can do is maybe a little Q&A, if that's all right. Is that all right? By the way, I'm the kind of person, I'll be very honest, anything's on the table. Like, I'm very open. Let me announce it now. This is safe space. Whatever happens in this room, stays in this room. Recording, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. What do we do? Okay, let's do this. If there's a vulnerable question that you have, we'll turn off the recording for just for that 10 minutes. Is that all right? So safe space, anything goes. Anything that's in your mind, in your heart. And it's not that I'm an accomplished yogi I'm just a brother of yours or younger to you. Some of you are elder than me, but I have some small experience in this world. So anything that's in your mind, in your heart. Yes.
How did you kind of move forward in your journey? Like, once you decided, like, oh, I want to share this, like, how did the doors sort of open up?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, the question was, how did the doors open? Like, do you want to say it a bit louder? You said it nicer than I can repeat.
Just like once you kind of had that breakthrough realization, like, oh, I want to share this, like, how did the doors kind of start to open for you? And
Particularly with sharing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was really a rocky road. It wasn't like, the clouds parted, the sun hit my face, and I was like, ah. Like, it was definitely not like that. I found the chanting, but I was really heavily involved with drugs and the wrong audiences, and so I went back and forth for years. Like, I found myself in a kirtan on a Friday, and then afterwards I'd go out. And so I felt like my life was one in which I had one foot in one boat, one foot in another boat, and they were both going in different directions, and I was splitting down the middle, and I kind of had to make a call. I kind of had to decide, like, at one point or another, and I think it was, this is what happened. So we went to a club one night, me and my girlfriend, who's now my wife, put a ring on it. We went to a club. The club had sticky floors. Oh, sticky floors. And it was a foam party, and I saw someone throwing up in a corner, and another person sliding through it, and I was like, oh my God. I had a watered down Jack Daniels and Coke in my hand, and I just looked at my girlfriend, I said, I need to get out of here. And she said, okay, let's go. So we get back to the flat, and I'm sitting on the edge of the bed like this, like hand in head. And she said, what's wrong? I said, I don't want to do this anymore. He said, you're breaking up with me. No, we're good. I just don't want to do this drinking thing anymore. She said, what do you want to do? I think I want to share spiritual stuff with people. What? Yeah, like, I've been going to this thing called Kirtan, and I really like it. And I was like, this is going to be make or break. If she leaves me, then it's done. Like, but she said, all right, let's do it. And so the next day we went to the library, and we printed out flyers. And on the flyer it read, what would you do if you had 24 hours to live? And I stood out in the cold, and I closed my eyes. She was standing next to me. I remember I had my woolly hat on. And she looked at me and she said, what do we do now? I said, I closed my eyes and said, if there's a Krishna, if there's a God out there, I'm just trying to get close to you. I don't know you. I don't even know what you look like. But I'm just trying my best to find you. And I'm trying my best to leave a life behind. And I opened my eyes and I went up to the first person and said, hey, what would you do if you had 24 hours to live? I don't know, like, probably go drinking and that, innit? Like, what do you reckon, Steve? Yeah, we go clubbing, innit? Yeah. Oh, amazing. Okay, cool. Well, look, we're having this event. It's a spiritual thing. You're most welcome. It's free. I'm going to do a little meditation, mantra stuff, and, come along if you're interested. Yeah, cool, man. You look all right, yeah. Hey, what would you do for 24 hours? Stacey, what do you reckon, Stacey? Stacey, what do you reckon? What would you do for 24 hours to live? Oh, yes, I'd spend it with my family. So this went on for some time, handed out hundreds of flyers, and the next day I put 3 chairs in the room. I was like, no one's going to come to this. No one. Who's going to come to this? And 75 people showed up on the first hit. 75 students looking for a life less ordinary. The next week, 150 people showed up. And that continued for 3 years. We became, I don't know if you have this term in the States, it's called BNOX. No? It's a popular person on campus. We became known as, these are the meditation peeps. And so my wife and I, we did that for 3 years. And I became convinced that this is what I want my life to be. I would have, what's your name? Madison. Be Krishna confident. Be confident that if you make a step in the direction of divinity, that divinity will reciprocate with you. Whatever that God is for you, whatever name that is for you, be confident that that divinity will reciprocate with you. If it's done sincerely. I see it all too often, and it's, I also have this and had this, is a need for cameras and appreciation and validation. But now I've got that, I feel, I realized it was never about that anyway. So I know that, look, I'm not putting you down if you are listening to me and going, I really want to do this, but you know deep down it's because of other reasons. Doesn't matter, do it anyway. Be Krishna confident. Be confident that Krishna is listening. Be confident that God is hearing you. That you don't want to live like everybody else is living. Because you know the truth is, that to be considered normal means you accept the values of an insane world. Isn't it? That I don't know how long you all are here in Rishikesh, but I'm assuming at some point you're going to have to go back to life as you knew it, or a modified version of that. But try not to be normal. Because it means that you accept that racism is normal, sexism normal, that killing of innocent lives is normal. No, I don't accept it. It's not normal. I don't accept it. So we all have to become ambassadors of peace, ambassadors of love, ambassadors of God, representatives of divinity. Yes, you. The greatest resource is not Instagram followers. The greatest resource is not money in your bank account. The greatest resource is not microphones in front of you. The greatest resource that any budding ambassador of love and peace needs is humility. And remember, humility doesn't mean to think less of yourself. It just means to think about yourself slightly less. Think of Krishna a little bit more. And in that way, when you think about God a little bit more, you think about the spiritual potential that you've been endowed with in this human form of life, when you become clear on that, then all the other stuff will just come. It will just come very naturally. So become Krishna confident. Be confident that if you make a stand, put a stake in the ground, and say, no, I don't want to live that life anymore, then everything will come. And what to do about the family, that's a whole other question. And I know that question's coming, so I'm going to wait. Thank you. Thank you for your sincere question. Hey, Lara. Hi, Bull. Nice earring.
Thank you.
What is that? A dream catcher in your ear?
I kind of changed it.
May your dreams be captured.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Because I know you're a Krishna devotee, obviously, so your practice is deeply rooted in the Maha Mantra and the Hare Krishna mantra.
Yeah.
However, you chant also other mantras. So my
Oh
question
dear.
is more like for people who, also chant other mantras, like how do different mantras affect our mind and heart, and what is maybe their role in Bhakti Yoga also?
How do different mantras affect our mind and heart?
Yeah.
What are their roles in Bhakti Yoga?
Like different mantras. Like not
Wonderful.
only the Krishna mantra.
Wonderful. I could get into trouble for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm a rebel, as you can see. First and foremost, I think it's very important that we don't culturally appropriate by chanting mantras only to get name and fame and popularity. Said it. Sorry if that rubbed you up the wrong way, but it's true. What does that mean? That means learn what these mantras mean. Read about the deities for which you're chanting. Don't rely on someone with a microphone in front of them to tell you who is Lord Shiva, what is Tattva Gyan, what is the real knowledge of form of divinity. Go and pick up some books. Bhagavad Gita is a great place to start. And start reading. I recognized very early on in my kirtan sharing that to chant one mantra for a prolonged period of time for new audiences was tough. I was anti-chanting other mantras because I had found that the scriptures, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Puran, the Ishopanishad, the Brahma Samhita, the Rudra Gita, a lot of scriptures, they say that the Maha Mantra in the age of Kalir Nashteva, this age of Kali Yuga, the Maha Mantra is supreme. Whether you believe that or not, I leave that to you. But that's my reading. When I read these scriptures, it told that the highest mantra is the Hare Krishna mantra. I found it so hard to accept because I couldn't see myself as a Hare Krishna. As you can see. Beard, not wearing the robes. I speak a little differently. I'm trying to be my authentic self. So I found it hard to accept. But at the same time, I couldn't deny it because it's plainly written. And I don't want to start making things up. That's definitely not what I want to do. I want to be very authentic to the lineage and to the path. That path has given me so much. So I accepted Maha Mantra Supreme. Done, finished, end of the story. Now, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that most dear to him, he talks about dear to me is priti, 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 dear to me, dear to me, dear to me. If you want to read, I think it's in there. Anyone who knows the Gita, what chapter is that dear to me's? Anyone know?
You're very dear to me?
Yeah, but what chapter is that? Dear to me, dear to me. Anyway, if you just type it in Google, Bhagavad Gita, dear to me, you'll find a few verses like that. Huh?
It's
Chapter 18? Oh.
57, 58, 59, it's in those.
There you go. 18, 58, 59, something.
Within those, yeah.
Jiva, thank you. So yeah, this is there. And when I read it, it said, most dear to me, most dear, so not dear, 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 most dear to God is one who shares the message. Okay, now I had to get my thinking cap on. I accept. Maha Mantra is supreme. Okay, now I need to share this with the people of today, which means I need to understand what are the needs, interests, and concerns of the people. The needs of people at large, from my perspective, is they need variety. That's my understanding, subjective. I'm not speaking on behalf of the movement. I'm not speaking on behalf of my spiritual teacher, even though he agrees with me. The needs of the people is they need a little variety on their plate. So I started introducing different mantras, such as Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. I started chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Govinda, etc. I even started chanting Om Namah Shivaya. And just recently, I recorded the Hanuman Chalisa, which is soon to be released. However, big but in the room. What I made a decision to do was to make sure that I gave context. So when I chant, Shiva, 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 Shambho, Shiva, 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 Shambho, that I mention in the 4th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Shiva is mentioned as Ashutosh. He's hope-giving. He's known as the gatekeeper to pure love. This is Mahadev, his tattva. So much so, it's even understood that Mahadev, on his Rudra Mala, what does he chant? Whose name does he chant? Ram, 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 Ram. So we can understand that the tattva, which means the form of this person, should also be acknowledged. Not that we misidentify this personality. Mahadev is you and you are Mahadev. We have to be careful about this. Let's read about it. Let's understand what is Tattva Gyan. What is really this person? Who is this person? So that's what I do. Even in big concerts, you've been to some of my big stuff where I've got thousands of people in the audience. I'm not shy to say it. We're going to chant Shiva Shambho, but let's understand who is Shiva according to the scripture. And I even quote the verses. So that's where I go with it. If you can find scriptural reference and you're not culturally appropriating just for your popularity, then I think it's all right. And you point in the direction of, in my opinion anyway, Krishna is the supreme. That's where I think the line lies. I'm waiting for some controversial backlash, but here we go. Was that all right?
Yes.
All right. Hello. Hi, Bo. What's your name?
I'm Martina.
Martina.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you also. I'm interested about your relationship with your spiritual master, Satchidananda Swami.
I will never admit to who my spiritual teacher is.
Can you maybe just tell what has changed in your life when you accept spiritual master?
Mukum karoti vachalam pangolangete grim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurun Dhinataranam. What has changed? Everything. That verse that I just quoted, it says that a blind man can see, a lame man can walk across mountains, all by the grace of their spiritual teacher. In a world where criticism comes thick and fast, it's so important to acknowledge who our anchors are. We all do it. Like, when we make a decision, we first make a kind of a concerted effort to see who's supporting our idea. Like, okay, let me give you an example. You're going to change your job. You go and seek advice, right? Like, oh, what do you think? Who's your best friend, Martina? Philippa. So you go, hey, Philippa, I'm going to change. Or I found a nice partner. What do you think? Yeah. But when it comes to our spiritual endeavors, we should find someone appropriately like that. So often people go to spiritual teachers and ask them, should I get married or not? And I think personally, that's not a really good use of their time. If you ever meet a spiritual person, the question that I would advise you to ever ask them is, what's the goal of this life? And how can I serve in such a way? And that spiritual person the guru will give an anchor point. So like, imagine what Lara asked about this chanting of different mantras. I got widely criticized. There's YouTube videos in which people are gunning me down. But I went to my spiritual teacher and I cried in front of him. I said, why? Like, I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to serve. He said, number one, don't bite back. He said, number two, know who your anchors are. The one choice, or we have many choices, but one of the choices that's really important in all of our lives is who is our guide? Who are our guides? Who are our gurus? You can't be forced. Like, no one can go, this is your guru, done, finished. No choice, no decision about it. No, you get to choose. So choose someone that you feel brings you towards light, brings you towards truth. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. The spiritual master, the spiritual teacher, they open your eyes and fill your heart, which has been darkened with ignorance, they fill that with light. And for me and my spiritual teacher, I felt like that instantly. Like when I told you about that story where I was in the kirtan and I ended up dancing in the t-shirt thing and the whole, that whole funny story. He was sitting at the front chanting, and I just gravitated like a moth to a flame. At the end of the kirtan, I ran up to the front like a little kid and I said, "What was that?" And he spoke to me for like 2 hours. I don't remember a damn thing. I was just mystified, like, his smile. Wow, saffron rose. robes, wow. But go beyond it. You know, when I asked him, can I be your disciple? He made a waiting program for me of like 10 years. And I think that's necessary. Too many people are so interested in getting a new name, getting a mala, getting validation in the spiritual community. Oh, come on. I've just seen it too much where you get the initiation and a year later you give up the practice. Isn't it? Established devotees, don't lie. How hard is it to chant 16 rounds every day? Let's be honest. How hard is it? 4 regs is more easy. I have a really close person in my life that still, they're an initiated person. They have a spiritual teacher, and he just finds it so difficult to give up smoking. Very close to me. So don't rush into it, but find someone that gives your life, gives your life service, gives your life, that you feel that you're close to. When I'm with my spiritual teacher, I feel like I'm close to God. My number one service is not kirtan. My number one service is to please my spiritual master. I trust him, I love him, I think he loves me too. And so in that reciprocation, I'm willing to do anything for that person. Anything. I mean, he will never ask me to do anything terroristic. That's not what I mean. He'll only tell me, what he really cares about? I tell him all the things that I'm doing successfully. Concerts around the world, retreats, international retreats. I've written a book that's been published by Penguin. Things that by the age of 34, most people would be yearning for. And I've done it, I'm done. But when I tell him, he's not interested in any way. He waits for me he waits patiently, and then he asks me, so how's your relationship with God? Oh, Guru Maharaj. And I'm very honest with him. I say, yeah, sometimes I chant, sometimes I find it difficult. I didn't read anything, for example, yesterday, and I accept I'm a faulty person and I make mistakes. But that person has my well wishes at heart. He really cares for me, the eternal thing. So that's a spiritual teacher. They're not looking for you to give them money all the time and make them food and like that. But they should be pointing you in a direction of divinity, towards God, being a via medium, being a conduit. Do you know what the word conduit means? It's like there's an electrical wire here. You hold that electrical wire, you become a conduit, you conduct the energy. So in the same way, our Guru is holding the hand of God and is a via medium by which holding your hand. And you know what your responsibility is? Is to then go and be a Guru yourself. To go and be a teacher to others. That was a long answer. Hope it helps. But it was a heartfelt question, so thank you. Yeah. Time for one more, I think. What time do I finish this? Huh?
I don't know. I think it's now.
Now. Okay, so finish now. Huh? But will it ruin the schedule and will it annoy the devotees? Keep taking? Okay. Yes. Yes, sir.
Not a spiritual question.
I'm sorry?
Not very spiritual question.
That's okay. I can talk about cars.
I saw on your website that tomorrow you have an event in the Beatles ashram.
Mm-hmm.
What is it all about? What is the setting?
What is that?
The setting, can everybody...
Yeah. I think so. I'm pretty sure it's open. To be honest, I don't really know. I'm not trying to be like a cow. Wherever you take me, give a little milk. Srila Prabhupada said that once, that's why. I think my understanding is it's the International Yoga Fest. They're having their closing thing, and I'm going to smile and chant. So I'll do that, and then I think I do another workshop in the afternoon for them. Because Indradumna Swami, who's organizing this program, he was so kind to invite me to Rishikesh. He sponsored my ticket. So I'm here. This is my service ground. So I made sure that they were very happy that I do this. And because it's in the mid-morning, they said, yeah, no problem, you go and do. So I'm going there and doing whatever little I can to serve there. But if you're close by, and please don't think it as a personality cult. I'm not trying to take you. If you're inspired and you're already there, then come. Or if you're really called to it, come. But I'm not saying, everyone please come with me. That's not my mood. You're receiving nice things here.
You didn't want to imply that.
I know, I'm being a democratic answerer. You understand what I'm trying to do.
And you are with the band or with people?
I'll have a band with me, yeah. It'll be nice. Yes, hello?
I just want to start by saying thank you so much for what you're doing. Some of your videos have got me through like really dark days of my life, and I really love what you're doing. And so the question is, if I want to learn to sing the way you sing, where can I start and how can I?
Oh dear. First and foremost, thank you so much for your kindness. I'm a human being. There's not really much special about me. I'm just... I've been given a gift, which is the holy name, and I'm trying my best to serve that, and I think that's my qualification. Otherwise, if you see what I do in private, I watch Netflix, like, I scroll on Instagram, I like eating in good restaurants. You know, I'm very, in one sense, normal. Actually, I'm not. I'm completely abnormal. That's not true. But first and foremost, thank you. I'm nothing if I'm not my father's son. My spiritual father has given me so much. And because of that, I am who I am. So thank you. With your permission, I offer your kindness to my spiritual teachers. They are my wealth. They are my dhan. They are my everything. But if one wants to learn how to sing like Radhika Das, what do? Yeah? In the shower, Will Yang. I mean, what I did when I started off is I used to have my favorite kirtan leaders, and I used to just listen non-stop. My kirtan gurus, they told me just be in the kirtan. That's number one. If there's a kirtan in town, you got to be there. There's no ifs and buts, like, oh, maybe next week. No, you've got to be in the kirtan. Weekly. And the second thing is daily. Spend some time with the instrument that you choose. Discipline is uncomfortable. But regret is unbearable. So if you really have the desire, what's your name? Apurva. If you're not just saying flowery words to impress me, but you really have a heart's desire to be a kirtan facilitator, please take these words to heart. Be in the kirtan daily. Be with the holy name daily. And I'll kind of add on to that, if you are like, oh yeah, I'm already doing that, then take up a sadhana of reading and understanding what we've got. It's a gift. We don't need to make anything up. Confirmed. Don't need to make anything up. It's all been given in our sastra. Shastra chakshus. Chakshush means with vision of the sastra, that you see from the eyes of sastra. And you can only see from the eyes of sastra when you're regularly with it. Just like a kettle. I have a kettle in my room, and because of the power cuts, it goes on and off, on and off, on and off. And if you keep doing that, when will the water ever boil? But if with your sadhana, with your daily chanting, daily reading, daily practice, it's uncomfortable, I get it, it's not going to be easy. But that's why people want it so much, because it's not easy. So daily practice. Yes?
So, firstly, very grateful for what you do. I had a little sister who passed away the last month.
I'm sorry to hear.
With cancer. She passed away somewhat peacefully, and that's because she used to hear you a lot when she was in pain. So your Kirtan helped her sail through. And I made it up while saying this. spirituality is the anchor of life, and it holds you strong when something turbulent happens. And it's with all of us, right? At that point of time, I think spirituality is the same thing which either leaves you totally or engulfs you completely.
Yeah.
How to remain stable through it?
Wow, what a question. First and foremost, please accept my condolences and my sincere prayers for you.
Loved you for what you did.
I'm grateful. That was some service. Please accept my prayers. Would you mind praying for him and his family? Is that all right? What's your name?
Aman.
And what's your family name? Chauhan. So Aman Chauhan, whose sister recently passed. You don't know what she looks like. I don't know what she looks like. But just pray for the soul, that the soul goes somewhere peaceful, somewhere. The next destination, the next body, may it be God conscious, may it be Krishna conscious. You can chant one mantra together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When grief strikes us, we can either choose to see the light or see the darkness. We learn more from rock bottoms than we do from mountain tops, isn't it? The Buddha, when he was seeking a life less ordinary, what did he do? Janma mrityu jara vyadi. He went to go and see birth, old age, disease, and death. Exposed himself to it, rather than living in a palace. And you know what the most amazing thing in the world is? Ladies and gents, brothers and sisters. Do you know what the most amazing thing is? King Yudhishthira, he mentions in the Mahabharata. The most amazing thing is that we see death happening all around us, but we think it will never happen to us. We think it won't happen. I see this mayonnaise patch on my face every morning. This side, no? This side? It's now spreading a little bit. I'm like, what is going on? Huh?
That's the opposite in mirror. It sees
Oh, yeah, whichever way. But I'm like, I'm getting old. I thought I was 18 forever. If you ask me how old I am, I feel like I'm 18, 19. All right, 20 maybe. But this body is aging. I can see it before. I saw a grey chest hair the other day. I will not show you. But we're getting old. We will die. It's true. There's nothing Brian, what's his name? Brian, who's trying to prolong his life forever. You know who I'm talking about, right? Brian Johnson, yes. He's trying to live forever, be the oldest man alive. But he will also die. There's nothing you can do about it. So these are teachable moments, and I encourage you first and foremost to sit with it and acknowledge it and not try to cover it up. Don't try and put other stuff on top of it. Sit with it. Cry about it. Seek therapy if you need that. Spiritualists sometimes feel that we don't need to go. I also had anger management when I was younger. It's natural. Therapy is normal. To express your feelings, to express what's going on. Have to do it. Otherwise, it will pop its ugly face up in another area of your life because you didn't acknowledge that you're going to die. So that's first. Acknowledge it, sit with it, go through it. And the second thing is, use it. Use it as a means by which you can elevate consciousness. Not just of yourself, but people at large. We learn more from rock bottoms than we do from mountaintops. Too many people in the world at large are just seeking the mountaintops and not seeing the golden steps the whole way. There was once an old man, and I'll end with this story. There was once an old man, and he wanted to see gold really desperately. So he went to the royal family. He said, "Oh, king and queen, please, I am dying. I'm an old man. Please, my last wish is I must see gold. I've been told that this is the most beautiful gem." It's like the timing is immaculate. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. I want to see gold. The king says, yeah, no problem. No problem. Go up these steps, at the top of the steps, swing the treasury open, and there you will see gold as far as the eye can see. Camera angle good? So he starts climbing these steps, Climbing, all the way to the top. Gets halfway, he gets a bit tired, and too much discipline. What can I do? Too much discipline, halfway. No, keep going. Inner resolve, let's go. Got this. Swings open the door, sees gold as far as the eye can see. And then does a double take and turns around and sees that every step upon which he just walked was laid with gold. Life is sometimes like that. We want Krishna Prem, devotees, isn't it? Krishna, I want to love you. I want you to love me. Make me your maidservant. Glance upon me. Kada karishyasi hamam. Kripa katak shabhajanam. Dear Srimati Radharani, please glance upon me. Only to realize that that glance was available in every conversation, in every mantra, in every morsel of prasad, in every cow that is giving you the eye. That glance is there, if we choose to see it. It's a consciousness thing. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much for your kindness and for your attentiveness. I hope I didn't bore you too much. Although, I mean, you wouldn't be here if you were bored, so I hope it was useful. Let me say that. I hope it was useful. And I'm a Kripa Siddha. I'm a mercy case. I'm not an accomplished yogi. I'm a bumbling yogi. You saw, those of you who were here 2 nights ago saw me stack it on stage. Embarrassing. But that's me. I'm not perfect. In fact, I heard that Krishna likes the endeavoring, stumbling devotee more than the accomplished yogi. That's why I love you. And because of that, because I am in need of mercy and need of your blessings, please allow me to be shameless to request for them. You're all such wonderful souls. You're such accomplished persons and such devotional souls. And if you can just pray for me. I have a desire for the highest thing, and that requires mercy. Okay, I'm finished. Premanjali.